All right. So we got to this spot where we decided that a prism is a repeated shape. Yeah? Yeah. And that repeated shape, I asked you guys to define the word base for me. Did I not? I didn't get that far. Great. What does the word base mean?
Bottom.
Leighton says it means the bottom. What else does it mean? The beginning. Sam says it means the beginning. What else could it mean?
A starting point?
That's pretty similar to a beginning, but yes.
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear it sound.
He pinched his finger in his binder ring. Aww.
You have to chew your arm off to get away.
Why are you fighting?
Why are you fighting?
Actually, what he is doing has a place in psychological theory. It's called the pain gate theory.
What? When you distract
When you bash your head, what do you do? No, you go like this. Oh, and you rub it, right?
No, I just kind of cry and hold my head. Don't rub it.
Anyways, the theory is that when you stimulate the other neurons around that, your brain is dealing with that new stimulation and deals less with the amount of pain that you were
So
feeling.
it's like when you hit your head and your dad says, I could chop off your arm and you won't think about your head anymore.
No, that's just stupid.
Okay.
Because chopping off your arm doesn't actually hurt that much.
It's like when you have a brain freeze that you have.
Because all the nerves
What if it's like an uneven cut?
are cut.
What if it just kind of go halfway through?
Right. That's like same reason when I dug this knife well into the white muscle of that hand, I was just like, ow. But when you're cutting onions, you just do a little cut in your finger like, ow!
You can like dig your fingernail all the way into your heel and you kind of feel it.
Now, as I was saying, base. We had starting point and we had bottom. Which one of those is the better definition for a repeated shape from which a prism springs? Starting point. That's the better definition, right? Sadly, when we say base, all of you want to think of the bottom because of things like math class, where you're taught that the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So you automatically look at the bottom for the base. The problem with that is, once again, as I've mentioned many times in this classroom, both in grade 9 and already in grade 10, that is the problem with memorizing steps and not the concept behind it. So, a prism starts with a base shape. That base shape is the thing that repeats. It does not necessarily need to be on the bottom. Okay? Okay. Let's draw a few of these because it's good to know this. The simplest one is, of course, the cube or the rectangle prism. Draw a rectangle. Draw the L of another rectangle and connect the 3. Done. What's another kind of prism? There's the definition.
Cylinder.
A cylinder, of course, because a circle repeats to another circle and is separated by a rectangle, because that rectangle is simply wrapped around the two circles. What was the other one you said there, Sarah?
Triangular.
A triangular prism, which is indeed also allowed. There's a triangle like a wedge of cheese, and it goes back. And then this one I like to put in the dotted lines to remind you of what you can't see. Yeah? Can any shape make a prism? Yes. If you stack up stop signs on each other, you get an octagonal prism, right? If you stack up I can't think of anything that's a hexagon. If you stack up school zone signs, you get a pentagonal prism. Yeah, school zone signs look like that, right? Yeah. If you... Well, no, the sign for school zones when you're driving. Yeah, no. If you stack up schools, you get a stack of schools. It is not a prism. I can't think of anything that's hexagonal. I can't think of anything that's nonagonal or decagonal. So we're just going to stop there. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Now, the other shape we are going to discuss in the first part of our exploration into three-dimensional figures are Pyramid's ugly cousin. I lie. Prism's ugly cousin, the pyramid. A pyramid is a 3D shape as well, except the L, W, and H change. They are not the same all the way along. So how would we define a pyramid? I've already told you it's related to a prism because it's its ugly cousin. So it must have some things in common with it. What does a pyramid share in common with a prism? Does anyone know? Ooh, dead silence. Okay, let's try this. Oh, wait! Sam.
Isn't it like the shape repeats like around the thing or something?
Blake? Sarah?
It's got a base and it's connected by triangles.
Oh, we're getting warmer. We're getting very warmer.
Like what Sarah said, but the shapes go to up.
There you go. You still have a repeated shape, but yes, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. But that shape diminishes. Oh, too many ends. I had diminishes. Diminishes in area to a point. Now, here's what I mean by that. When I say pyramid, what do you all automatically think of? Egypt, thank you. You don't need to be all, oh, what's Mr. Myers really want me to say? I'm going to say something that will make me sound smart. No, you think of Egypt. As soon as I say pyramid, you think of Egypt. Come on. You think of the Sphinx when I say pyramid.
Because like my mind does that. I like think of one thing and then it goes to another thing and then it goes to another thing.
Yeah, but the very first thing you thought of was a pyramid. So those don't think you don't have to
That's
go
why
farther
I
than
got
that.
contemporaries from the earlier years.
No, there was no correlation.
Yes, there was, because we were talking about how, like, I forget, but it was
Now it is no longer the lights that are making me cry. All right.
Oh, don't die, it's not that funny.
So, of course, when you think of the pyramids, you are well aware that the bottom of those pyramids is square. Halfway up that pyramid is still a square, but smaller. 3/4 of the way up the pyramid is still a square, but smaller. At the top of the pyramid, there's nothing.
Whoa.
Right? The square disappears. Are your eyes bothering you too, Lauren? Oh, I am not wearing contacts. Unless I wore my contacts and then everything else, that's why. But I didn't. Although I did recently read an article about contact use, because I've been debating laser eye surgery, and how many people go for laser eye surgery or general eye health, and the ophthalmologists and optometrists find old contacts up and around in your eye. I have had that happen. I've lost contacts up in behind my eye playing rugby, a thumb in the eye, and it gets shoved up under there, and you're like, I can't see. And then oh, I can feel it. It's in there somewhere. And then you go and you look at a mirror and you pull your eyeball down. Oh, yeah, I can see it right there. And it rolls back to the front. But I'm pretty sure I probably have a contact or two floating around in the back of my eye. Lindsay?
In your lifetime, you're only allowed to wear contacts for a certain amount of hours a day, or just in your lifetime. So you have to wear glasses sometimes.
Oh. I just wear glasses because I'm lazy. Yeah. Oh, I got to get up in the morning. Oh, I got to dress. I got to shave. I got to make breakfast. I got to make lunches. What? And I got to put on my contacts? Screw that.
Now we're like, come on, Ayla, like the day
All right. So, pyramids are easy. On the bottom, they can be a square or a rectangle. So we draw it leaned over. Connect it, connect it. That's a horrible pyramid, Mr. Myers. You're a moron. Connect it, connect it. I know people say I'm very mean to them. But you have no idea what's going on in my head. Right? When you guys do something stupid and I sigh, my kids and my wife say it's cutting. It's like I punched him in the nose when I sigh. And I say, well, you get a sigh. Imagine what it sounds like in my head when I screw up. And they're like, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't want to be there. So,
Is that why you're crying?
yes, that is why I'm crying. Can the bottom be a circle?
Yes.
Yeah, what do we call that?
Cool.
A cone.
I mean, just
I like to put the dotted line in the back to remind you that it's a circle. Or if it was the old days, a dunce cap, but we don't say that anymore. Because heaven forbid.
It's like those bugle things.
When kids were stupid, they were sat in the corner wearing a hat that said dunce.
Oh.
I hear. That never happened in my life, Leighton. But I've heard that that is the actual truth. I don't buy it. And of course, you could also have a triangular pyramid, which is hard to draw. I like to draw it as a V, and then the dotted line, and then connect. Because it looks like that. It looks like this one, but the dotted line goes straight across.
But then there's like an ocean and it's like there's like
The point is, it diminishes to a point. The point is that it diminishes
to a point.
to a point.
I guess.
Now, we are going to discuss today the surface area, which you did in grade 9, but it's something that mathematically is very simple. Conceptually, it is difficult for people. And what I mean by that is, yes, indeed, you can follow the formulas and do very easy math. But conceptually speaking, it causes trouble. So we'll start with the super easy ones. First of all, I want to take a moment to discuss exposed area of a solid, because it is a different thing. This box right here is a rectangular prism, yes? You could choose whichever face of it you want. That one, it's a rectangle. That rectangle repeats back to here.
Yeah.
Right? But you would not say that is the base, would you? No, because it is not sitting on that. But you could say it is the base shape. Yeah?
No.
If I stand it up that way, then everybody's happy. It's the base and it's the base shape. No problem. Now, if I were to talk about the exposed area of this solid, what is it? Don't give me a number. Describe the exposed area to me using words. Kayla?
Anything on the outside.
Kayla says it's the outside. Okay, so now, what is the exposed area? Everything?
Not like the outside and the inside.
Blake, what you can see. Okay, Blake. Is that right?
I meant like you rotate around and from every angle.
Ah, so everything I could see were I to have complete access to it, like in Google SketchUp. Aye. So this way, when that lid is like that, then it's what Kayla said. But if I close that lid, then what is it?
Exposed area is if you dropped it in a thing of paint. Right?
So we go with the thing of paint. Yeah? So if I dip this in paint, it's going to cover everything inside, everything outside, yeah? But if I close that lid and dip it in paint, it's only going to cover the outside, yeah? All right, good. So let's do that. Draw and calculate the surface area of a cereal box measuring that. Do I care about... Yes, of course. Do I care about the measurements?
Yeah.
Do I care about the measurements when I'm drawing it? No. So we draw ourselves a rectangular prism. Swoop, 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 swoop. And of course, it's a bowl of cereal. Good luck, Blake. We're going to name them Mattios. No, wait. Sorry. We're going to name them Gopheros.
Because of the joke.
Joke is the wrong word.
Why you spelled it like
I did. I spelt it like the nickname for Gophers. But that's a real word as well.
Isn't it PH?
That's the animal. If you are a gopher, which is also a job description, you go and get things for people. It's a very low-level position. And it's spelt that way.
Clean toilets and
It's a base position.
wow.
Aight. So,
How do you read
the exposed area of this is that rectangle, and that rectangle, yes? Except it's more than that, isn't it? Because what is it really?
Everything that's
Everything that is what?
exposed.
Exposed. Well, that's all exposed. So what would I do with those three numbers? Times 2. Hey, that's the concept. The problem is a great many kids and a great many math teachers don't bother discussing the concept. They go straight to the formulas. And on your sheet, I've given you formulas. And that formula is written 2 WH plus LW plus LH. Or some combination of those letters. I can't remember what it actually is. What do those letters stand for?
With height and
Length, width, and height. Okay. Everybody put the L on here where the length is. And since you all know what length is, you should all be putting the L in the same spot, shouldn't you? Excellent. I'm just going to wait a second for everyone to write an L. Everybody is done?
yeah.
Excellent. You all put your L where? There?
No, I put it on the bottom.
On the bottom.
That's the long side though.
Where?
Oh, not the long side, but
There.
The bottom or the diagonal?
Oh, the bottom. The bottom.
The L.
Yeah.
Every single one of you put your L there, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of you. All 30 of you, yeah?
No,
No? Why not?
because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Where else would you put your L? The diagonal one? Okay. Why?
Because it's like, if you put
Here's my cereal box. Right? Where's the L?
that way.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that shape? Excellent. Which is the W? This one. But you just told me that's the L. Why am I being a dink? Blake.
To show us that the letters can be interchangeable.
The letters can go anywhere they want. It doesn't matter. You guys get locked into LWH, radius, base, height, slants. You get locked into that because you have been always taught by formula. You haven't been taught by what's actually happening. This doesn't matter where the L goes. It doesn't matter where the W goes. It doesn't matter where the H goes. Okay? And that's why I told everybody to write it down, because people wrote it down in different spots. And because of what I just did to poor Sam. And Sam, you're a good sport. You always offer an answer, and you are always willing for me to debunk it. And you're never a dink about it. So thank you. Because all of you, if I showed you a two-dimensional one, oh, that's the width. Obviously, Mr. Myers, you dummy, it's the short one. Clunk. Oh. Well, when you do that, right? What's this? No, it's not. Now it's the...
Wait.
Wait.
Exactly. What is the point of it, Sarah? That it doesn't matter. Okay? All right. So all we would do here is make our own decision, right? One of those is the length, one is the width, one is the height. Because it's a prism and they don't change. Yeah? All right. So if we were to do this properly in a university classroom, which we would never do because it's too easy for a university question, this is what it would look like. And this is what it's going to need to look like as you move on into the International Baccalaureate program. SA equals formula. Then work 2. WH. You choose. How do you make sure you do it right? I label them. Now I can't screw it up. WH is what I wrote first, so I'm going to write 8 and 24 plus LW 8 40 plus LH 24 40 close brackets. Now, punching that all into your calculator at once is not math. Punching that all into your calculator at once is calculator skills. They are different. If you punch this into your calculator wrong, you are going to have to punch a whole bunch of buttons. It's going to give you an answer. And a bunch of you are going to write down that answer without actually knowing if it is a right answer or not. Because, and I quote every grade 10 student ever, my calculator said so. Because if your calculator told you to jump off a bridge, would you? See, that's that parent thing yeah, right. I'm just mixing it all up to keep you on your toes. Now, seriously, folks, punching all that into your calculator is a pain to do it all at once. So how do you make sure you do it right? There's 2 things to make sure you can do to make sure. Sam? You can do it one by one and write out each answer. Or you can actually practice with your calculator. What do you think I do when I'm doing this for myself? I've done it so many times on the calculator, I don't bother. When I'm showing you guys, what do you think I do? I write it out. 2. 8 times 24 is 192. Plus 8 times 40, 320. Plus 24 times 40, 960. Then I add that up. 2. 32 and 96 is 138. I lie. 128, 192. 1,472. And then I multiply that by 2 to get 2,944 watts. Centimeters squared. Why is it squared?
Because you're looking for the surface.
Why is it squared? Yeah, why not? You want to go to the bathroom. You want to get water? That was my next guess. Go. Why is it squared? Kayla. Because it's 2 dimensions. Area is not a linear measurement. Area has 2 dimensions, a length and a width. Yeah? Yeah. 2 dimensions. Is this elementary school? Will I mark your whole page wrong when you forget to put centimeter squared? No. Will I put a big circle on it and a question mark and say IDK or something like that? Yes. Then you will go like this. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Right?
Oh, won't you like do the slappy thing like a forehead thing?
I don't know if you would do the slappy thing
No,
on your
you
forehead.
would, though.
I would.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine you doing it.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Huh?
He's not mad. A face justice.
Yes. I thought you said baseball.
Oh.
Why would I hit myself in the head with a baseball?
No, that's not good at all.
All right. Number 20 or number 2 on page 27 is the hardest single shape I can possibly give you. Okay? Talk to your neighbor and discuss how you will draw this. I know, poor you, Leighton.
Just draw it.
How you gonna draw that? I just ditched you, Josiah. It's like you're not even there. Holy.
Equals.
Oh, now look, easy peer pressure.
It's just really ugly.
Makes the dream work, Manalo. Makes the dream work.
Like I drew an equal sign, so
You whatted?
I drew an equal sign, so it's like so you know. I really hate triangles. You get like forms.
All righty. I am interested to know.
Oh, I remember this one.
I drew it.
I am interested to know how many people tried to draw it 3-dimensionally and how many people tried to draw it 2-dimensionally. So some of you probably drew this. Yes? Yes? And then you would have made 32 and 48. Yeah? Excellent. And then you would have read it had a height of 65 feet. How do you measure the height of a pyramid?
Point to
Straight through the middle.
yeah. Draw bigger.
65. Lovely. Great drawing, works perfectly. How many people went with a 2-dimensional drawing? In other words, you drew this. A rectangle. A rectangle
That's a nice one.
of 32 by 48. And then 4 triangles.
Oh, it's like this little box.
Because they would fold up and make the pyramid. Did anybody draw that bad boy? Okay. To explain how to do this problem, it's actually best to have both. One of this, when you look at this, you need to say, all right, self, surface area is the exposed area, yes? Okay. So the exposed area is made up of 2 kinds of shape, yes? What are they? It's a rectangle plus 2 triangles plus another 2 triangles. Why did I have to write it twice?
There's different sizes.
They're different triangles, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I had the green triangle and the blue triangle, yeah? Okay. So rectangles are easy. How do I find a rectangle? Length times width. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is the length and which is the width?
Oh, no.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter even a little bit. But where do you find the length and the width of a pyramid?
It's on the bottom.
No.
The base.
On the base. Because, of course, if we went to the Louvre in Paris, you would find there's an upside down pyramid there that is sitting on its point.
Yeah, that was in the
How'd they do
movie.
that?
So what is the base?
The dude, Robert Langdon.
Yes. What is the base?
Da Vinci Code. That's the
top.
It is still the rectangle at the top. Smart. Nice. So,
Oh, yeah.
Wait, the movie is called the Da Vinci Code.
yes, that was the movie. Good job. Now, do you get my pop culture reference for noise? Smart. Anybody?
Oh,
Noise. Smart.
I'm thinking of the guy with the.
No.
The guy when you like.
It's Brooklyn. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Aight. What is the area of a rectangle? What is the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. But
So there's two triangles.
there's 2 of them.
So it cancels.
So it's just based
Gone.
So it's just based on
Then what about over here?
the same.
Same thing. 2 base times height divided by 2 cancel out, so it's just base times height. But we have a problem, don't we? Because this is a rectangular pyramid, I have different bases and heights, don't I? What is one of the base? What is the base of the green triangle?
32.
32.
Smart. Nice. What is the base of the blue triangle?
48.
Smart. Nice.
Why stop that?
What is the height? Wrong. The person over there who was saying something, I don't know who it was. Right, Taylor. The height is right up the middle. But does that height exist inside the pyramid or on the surface? Inside the pyramid. We only care about what?
The outside.
The outside of the pyramid. So we do not need 65. What do we need?
Another.
We need this distance or this distance. How do I find it?
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras, our good friend Pythagoras.
like the bottom.
The,
Bottom is 24.
the green guy, height, is the square root of what? Why 24? It says right there 48.
Because it's half.
24 squared,
Plus 30. No, 16.
65 squared. And what is the height of the blue triangle?
24.
No, 16.
Square root of 24 squared plus. Ah, you are not right, Sam. Because you were just yelling answers. You've already done the 24. 16. There is no other 24, Sam.
Who said that? Who said that?
Oh, because we're doing. Oh, okay.
Who said that? Who was that?
And what is the LW? What is the LW?
48. 82.
Now,
Wait.
I am waiting.
Okay, so
Okay, now I get why it's 16 because it's that way, not that way. I didn't get it.
I am not going to give you the right answer because in a moment I'm going to stop talking. You're going to use this part of your work as calculator practice. Okay? Turn the next page. Or next question. You know it's recorded. But we'll just wait for you. All 29 of us will just wait. The needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know, because it's funny.
Just it wasn't.
What is the base shape of the cone? Excellent. Is that circle exposed?
Yes.
Excellent. So is it part of the surface area?
Yes.
Excellent. What's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Excellent. The rest of the circle is actually, the rest of a cone is actually this shape. Like Pac-Man. Yes, believe it or not. How would you find the area of that? Now, I haven't told you how, and you do not know. So you must use some math skill and what you know about geometry already. What must be involved to find that area?
1/4 of a circle.
It looks like 1/4 of a circle.
Is it?
There you go. It looks more like 3/4 of a circle. So if it is indeed circular based, what must be involved in the area of that shape? Pi and r. Yes?
Yeah.
So I must be adding something to do with pi and r. Yes? Now, is it r squared?
No.
This would be the r, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which means when I rolled it up into a cone, the r would be this much, yes? So it would be pi r squared, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But does a cone have to be equal? Or can it be taller than it is wide? Can it be taller than it is wide?
Yeah.
Yes. So it is not pi r squared. It is pi r s. And the s stands for slant height. Because that is there just in case you have a long pointy cone. Understand? Sam.
Okay, so what's that?
That? It doesn't have a name. It's just what the top of a cone looks like if you were to unroll it. Okay.
Like, okay, so if you had a cone, so it's like cut a line from like this line.
He's showing you.
I went to elementary school. Cone. Okay? Radius of the original circle, right? But it's also has to be the slant, right? Because if I made it really big and narrow, it wouldn't be a perfect fraction of a circle. Okay, good? All right. So, knowing what you know, pi, what's r?
15.
Oh, what?
15 squared plus pi, what's r?
15.
Excellent. What's the slant height? Do you know?
We can do that with that.
What do you have to do? Pythagoras. Why?
Because if you want to look for the slant height, you already have the radius and the height. You can figure out the others.
You've got the height. So you know that right in the middle here is 22. And you know this is what?
15.
15. You need that. So the slant equals what? Square root of 22 squared plus 15 squared. Yeah? Yeah. So what will go here? The square root of 22 squared plus 15 squared. Now, I want to call your attention to something that if you were in my grade 9 class last year, you already know. I don't know how stringent Mr. Hirschman was with this. In grade 6, when you were introduced to pi, what did you use? 3.14. In grade 9, what did you use? The pi button. You did not use 3.14. Now, and for future use, you are going to more often than not leave pi as pi. So this becomes 225 pi.
You started doing that at the end of last year.
Yeah, at the end
At the end,
last
yeah.
And then this is going to be whatever that is, as soon as my computer does what it's supposed to do. Which, you know, is very rare.
26.26.
Okay, again, I'm going to leave that blank for you guys to check it. 225 pi plus whatever that is times that pi. And then you would, of course, add them together because they're like terms. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. You're going to practice that because the right answers are going to be on the video when I'm done. It is 1:06. Class goes until 1:18. Excellent. We are on track. Number 4. Draw and calculate the surface area of a 20 centimeter pop can with a diameter of 10 centimeters. What shape is a pop can? Cylinder.
It has that kind of slanted tip thing.
What is the 20?
Oh, the 2020 is it height? The height.
20 is the height, right?
Yeah.
So where is the 20 if this is the pop can?
On the side.
On the side.
Oh, come on.
The base
Where's the height?
The base to the
The
opposite.
base to the opposite.
Okay, now it's not.
There, no, Sam, you are absolutely right. What's the base? The bottom. No, because if I'm in space and I turn it that way, what's the base? That edge of the bottom. But no, what's the base? That circle. The height here is from the bottom to the top. But the bottom isn't the base. The base is a circle. So the height must go from the base to the opposite side, no matter what space it exists in. Do you all understand what I am saying?
Yeah.
Excellent. Get height out of your head as going from top to bottom. Okay? I really like Sam's definition. And then, of course, the diameter is 10. Why is this tricky? Because you have been given a diameter. What is the cylinder made up of? 2 circles plus a rectangle. 2 circles, 2 pi r squareds. We've already talked about that. A rectangle is length times width, yeah? Well, the length is easy. We've got it. The length, what would we call it now? The height. Okay. The length is the height. What's the width? No. There's my rectangle. The what of the circle? The circumference of the circle. How do you find the circumference, Lauren? Circumference equals pi d. Or how many r's are in d? 2 of them. So 2 pi r.
Yeah.
Cool? So if that's my width, what goes here? My length is covered by my height. What goes here? 2 pi r. And there is my formula, to which I would plug in the appropriate numbers. 2 pi, what's r? 5 squared plus 2 pi, what's r? Times height? 20. Do that in your head. You have 5 seconds. Okay, I won't start the second till Sam says he's ready. Are you done?
Oh, we did it in our head. I was right.
Do that in your head. You have 5 seconds. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What's the answer? 250 pi. Why? 5 squared is 25 times 2 is 50.
Yeah.
5 times 20 is 100 times 2 is 200.
Yeah.
200 pies and 50 pies, 250 pies.
Yeah. It's a lot of pies.
And that, no, my 7s look like that, Blake. I always put the German cross on my 7s so people don't make the mistake you just made.
That's German to do that?
Huh?
That's German cross? What is that?
It's usually, it's from Germanic. Alright? Now, some of you are really uncomfortable with this. It bothers you.
Oh, my God.
It really bugs you. Like, I can't do it. I don't want to leave pi there.
Relax, y'all.
Relax. Okay? If you really can't leave that there, like you're getting twitchy, then go ahead and figure it out on your calculator by pushing 250 times the pi button to get like 798 or whatever it is with a bunch of decimals. Sam, think about the question you're going to ask. Think about the fact you've been in a class with me for 4 months already, now 4.5, and think about what I'm really going to say. What matters? Math matters. Concepts matter. How you write them down do not. Okay? All right, now listen up. Your job tonight is to go back and do calculator practice on those 3. Right? Class is over in, like, now. So, 5 minutes. Just do the calculator practice. Make sure you are getting the right answers. I will put the right answers on the end of this video. I'm going to start writing them in right now. Tomorrow, when you come to class, you are going to have work to do. You need not do anything tonight. Okay, you need not do anything tonight. I want you to work on this tomorrow. I want you working on what we are going to work on in class with other people because it is conceptually difficult. Arithmetically easy, conceptually difficult. So I want you working together tomorrow. So don't do anything tonight except take 5 minutes if you don't see it right now and check and make sure you got the right numbers for the 2 things I left you alone with. Understand? Okay. So there's the 48 by 32. And like I say, if you're going to punch this all in at once, it's very difficult. So I'm going to punch this in separately. Where are you going to start here? You're going to start with this mess over here. I'm going to do this for you guys. So my calculator stays on the screen. So, square root. For my calculator, I can do square root brackets. 24 squared plus 65 squared, close brackets. I can get that answer. Now, that is my answer, but I have to multiply by 32 times 32. Now I'm going to put it in, I'm going to write, see you guys, 2217.26 plus, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing, square root, 16 squared plus 65 squared, 66.9 times 48 by 3213.13. Then I just add them all up. 32 by 3213.13 plus CU 2217.26 plus 1536. Oops, 1536. Answer plus 5430.39 because I have it on my calculator right there. 6,966.39. And finally down to here. Gonna go here again. Gonna go square root 22 squared plus 15 squared. See you. 26.62 times 15. 399.4. So I gotta add 399.4 pi. Add that up to get 624.4 pi.
When you're stressed out looking.
Okay.